Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Power Podcast. It's Britt. You just have me today because it has been almost 6 months since I have recorded an episode. A lot has happened, and I want you to hear it from me first of what has been going on with Power, the future of Power, and there has been a lot of substance in between this past year, almost a year since we've been in the new location. It feels like just like yesterday. It's really gone by fast. And, I have been asked so much this year, how's the new facility? How's the new place? And my response is, great, good. But there's some type of hesitation that has been inside of me, and I haven't been able to put a finger on it. And this reminds me of every time I ask my kids how school is or how a practice was. What do you hear, moms and dads? Good. But I don't want to hear good. My kids know that now. So instead of asking them a question like that, what was your favorite thing? What was your favorite thing that happened to school today? What did you learn today? So something that's more open-ended. So that answer good, I don't think that is good enough. That whole good enough mentality is going to go further into this discussion and conversation. But when I'm talking to my kids, I want more details. And when I hear good, I think there's something lacking there. I think we can go deeper than that. And when people have been asking me over the course of the year, there's so much I want to say. And it's just like, it's kind of like when people are saying, how are you? And you just say good, but like, are you really good? Like, what's going on? So, let's get into it. In February and March, for me as the leader of Power, I was starting to feel this transition and was just humbly and graciously given this new mentor that has triggered a couple things in my lens and my perspective of leading a gym and doing more. So there was this point where this year I remember being in a team meeting, and I said, I think it was around like November, December, and this was just a couple months in. And I said to the team, I feel like we're just cruising. Like, everything's good. It's good, right? But like, we can be better. How can we be better? And one part of me is saying, we just got in here. We're still feeling it out, right? We're still feeling it out. But there still was something lacking. And it comes from me. And I feel like the team was reading my body language. Just like we're being complacent. We are capable to do more, to give more, to serve more, to reach more people. And I know my team has the potential. So we have been working with we partnered through our coaches of Active Life, and we've been with them since January of 2022. I'm going to go back on that because I don't think we were nearly ready to have started working with them. And my intention of working and start and invest in these very top-notch professionals with a very exclusive and detailed curriculum and programming was because I wanted to bring in personal training. And this is when we were at the old facility. So I knew I didn't have the skills and the strength to give more to my coaches, because that was the turning point when I hired full-time coaches. And Jen being completely new, not having any clue about coaching. We took a big risk on Jen because of her transformation and her skill set, her personality all around. God, I freaking love her. So we hired her for more of a sales position. And then I'm like, okay, we'll add you in for coaching too, because we need it. Little do I know, she has transformed exponentially. I could go down a rabbit hole for Jen and just seeing her growth over the course of the year. So working with Active Life, every intention was to adopt personal training and just help with our coaches on more expertise and knowledge and education, but also how to bring it into our model, which is a very high volume group model. I mean, at one point in 2018, 19, we had 500 something clients. And ask me, did I know 500 something clients' names? Absolutely not. Ask me if all my coaches knew everyone's names. Nope. Ask me all the questions that are just everything that we would talk about it then, but it was just too much. So at one point we're talking about doing more, but that was too much that we were over capacity to what we could give and what we could serve. We were actually doing a disservice to our hitters when it was Hit It With Brett. And the pandemic was a beautiful, beautiful, horrible at the same time experience. But it made us step back and really look at the big picture. So the vision started then. But in January 2022, my vision was so focused on the facility and then having our coaches who we invested in, having the professionals, our consultants, really help my coaches. So once we got into a new facility, I was like, okay, how are we feeling about our schedules? Because we're starting to bring in more personal training and we have tons of group classes. How are we balancing that? And there's that word balance. I hate that word. And I want to talk about, load versus capacity. And I'm not talking about using the weights. I'm talking about our actual team and scheduling and fulfillment. So the first thing I need to know as a leader is, what does my team want out of their life and out of this career, out of every aspect that we talk about with relationships and career purpose and their time and their finances and their health. Because working in a gym, you would think we have the best health, but it is also mentally and emotionally draining and physically draining too, because not only are we coaches, and I'm talking on behalf of my team when I was a coach, it is so emotionally, mentally draining because everyone wants our attention and we strive to give that attention. It means so much to us. It really does. Like, knowing our clients and members' kids' names and what they do for a living and trying to support them outside of the gym and supporting them with their relationships, or when there's a huge moment, turn of events in their life, a death in the family. We've had multiple clients who've had deaths, and when they get married, so all these events, we are a part of that. We are the first ones to know when they're pregnant. I mean, we know before their family because they need to know if they're okay. And that is them trusting in us. So, wow. I thought this was only going to be like 15 minutes. We're going back. So, but I'm just trying to give like more substance before of why this vision is the vision and why it's transformed and why it's evolved. So, when we're talking about getting into the new facility and really just embracing this transition of 3 different rooms and trying to fit in clients and meetings, and at the same time, what was most important to me I would say most important, it was top 3, was to make sure that they are doing the curriculum. I can't force them to do the curriculum, but the curriculum is heavy. It is heavy and dense. When I say dense, it is not just like you're listening to a 5-minute, 10-minute video. It is learning the anatomy and physiology of the body. My coaches aren't just learning like their personal training certification. They already got that. They are learning the deeper parts of everything, of the whys and the hows, and to make sure longevity, holistic health here. This is a more of a really like deeper one-on-one relationship. While they're doing that, they're still developing and maintaining relationships with 300 other people who are going in and out of classes. So when we talk about my coaches, there's a lot that they have to do. And I really don't think people know how much they do on a daily basis. They're still working every day, even on the weekends. I, this what I'm saying is that this industry is a really tough one. People really don't see the behind the scenes of all of the commitment and dedication and exhaustion, but also gratitude and fulfillment that's happening. It is a roller coaster of emotions being a coach. And I knew that last year when I started transitioning to many independent contractors and just focusing on full-time employees, full-time staff, full-time focus mentality, was when I had to really dig in with growth development and leadership development for myself in order to give that to my team. And that's when I knew and I trusted in Active Life and their coaches and mentors to be mentoring my team. So I was starting to be a little bit hands off, and this was very challenging, very, very challenging. I'm not coaching. I'm not talking as in depth and with my team every single day like I used to. So there's a lot of transitions happening between me personally and professionally and everyone else too on my team. I have, let's talk about my whole entire team is all engaged in getting married in 1 year. Like, that's a huge transition in your life. That's one of the most important events of your life. So that's happening on top of like really just adapting and adapting to new mindsets and new methodologies. Wow, I sound really good and clear right now. Just had to check myself because I'm like, I didn't even look at any of my notes yet. And this is why I can speak like this, because speaking from the heart and from my head and from my soul, like literally that triad is all together. And that's why every business has a leader and a visionary, because during this year, I was just feeling stuck at something. I don't know if it was more of a personal stuck or like my purpose, or like I have a vision for power, but now I know getting in here and what it took of getting in here between building out the new facility and really trying to lead a team to the best of my ability and rely on other people to build them in the way I want them to. I knew I did not want to scale power. I knew that I did not want more locations within 3 months. I'm a pretty decisive person, and that, like, I was validated on that when I started budgeting more, learning about, just more of the financials of the business, and also being in a physical location and leading people. So everything that just encompasses of building a gym, not just a business, but specifically a gym. It's not your typical 9 to 5. You can leave when you go home from your job, that you don't have to think about it. It's constant for my coaches as well. And that's where, like, we've had to learn a lot about growth development and our boundaries and setting those boundaries. Really, number one. So I knew I didn't want to scale. And that's when I'm like, okay, so what's next for power? Because I have to keep growing and evolving. And like when I said, it was around November, December, when I said to the team in the meeting, something just feels like we're just like sitting here. We're sitting here. Like, we got to level up. And how can we do this? So January was a complete switch. We were given a new mentor through Active Life, which then Relly was. And then so my coaches were given their own coaches, which they did, but someone else knew as well. And then we knew our model wasn't going to be able to work the way we want it to work. And I say our model, just coming straight to class. We knew after that good 6 months of being in there that we are not the one size fits all approach, and we're different. Like, we want to make sure it's known that we are different from everyone else there, because we are serving our community to what they need, not what they want. Big difference. And it's taken a lot of time to really see that, like to really like visualize this, because what I've seen for years and what's worked for years is high volume. Come on, give me more people. I want to help more people. Yes, more, bring more. And during, I think about it like that. That's a wonderful, overabundant mindset. Like, yes, we are capable of more, right? But not to our fault. We also didn't do things like just learning more about the ins and outs and the operations of a business. I and then looking back, like feedback and constructive criticism that we've had from Hit It with Brit to Power in the Old Location, and just there's so many things that I really do take and value feedback. So I knew that like I wanted more of an upscale, luxurious, but like upscale, high value, high level gym facility to serve the people who really value that and need that. So this year, people were starting to realize this, especially the ones who were going through the personal training. That is where the mindset and the transformations were happening more in this past almost year. And I know that my coaches, like, I've always said this, and I haven't figured out how to really execute it, is that I don't want my coaches being burnt out. I want to give my coaches what they want. And that is flexibility. That's time freedom. That's financial freedom. That's purpose. Like, that's being like fulfilled in your purpose and what you're doing and who you're serving. That's having relationships with our community, like having those positive relationships, and also that transitioning to home and still being able to have time for your family. And most importantly, what we're doing is health. Like, I want my coaches to be healthy holistically. And if I want all that for my team, they need to feel that, and they need to give that also to our community, because that's ultimately in life, we have one body. Like, we gotta treat it right. We gotta fuel it right. And then we gotta be able to impact more people doing that and transform more people. So, wow. Slow it down, Britt. How long have I been talking for? 17 minutes. Okay. I didn't get to my notes yet. But with my notes, I'm going to go a little bit quicker with this. But I just wanted to give you the kind of the background of like how this vision has evolved, but it's still our culture. So when I said January, February was kind of the turning point of my coaches leveling up, is because I was challenged in new ways that I had to really look at the business and be honest with myself, be honest with Relly. And then when I started seeing transitions in Relly's mindset, and when I was given feedback on how to delegate more and let go a little bit, like, I felt like I was just there a lot and there. Like, here I am doing finances and like putting together stuff for the podcast and having meetings, a lot of budgeting, a lot of finance, a lot of like the admin work, a lot of the busy work on my computer. And I just felt like I wasn't connecting as much. Yes, I'm connecting to my team, but for me, where I was at in that time was like, I feel like I'm not contributing enough to my business. I feel like I'm not contributing enough to my team. Like, what is going on? And that's when my mentor is like, Brittany, you having this business and continuing to communicate your vision, you have to be so clear on your vision. So that's when I'm like, okay, we've teeter-tottered some ways about going straight to class, and some things about just the process of power and who we're serving. We've kind of just, like I say, teeter-totted, going back and forth on what the process is going to be like and why, and what the payoff is. So, most of if you're a member or follow my social media, is that I had a really bad injury in March. Came back from Relly's wedding, and I was like, I am ready. I'm going to just I was just have all these adventures and visions in my mind. I was ready for power to oh just go through the ceiling because like I said, we in my eyes we were just good at this point. We're good. And I want to go to great. I want to cultivate an environment of excellence. I want to do that in my home. I want to do that with my coaches. I want to do that in my community and make this fitness industry more than what it is and give it more respect, especially for women in the fitness industry. So I want to lead that. So I, tore my Achilles and I I did everything in my power to survive that. At the same time, being uh, surprised and shocked that to get my other two children back, my bonus babies back unexpectedly. So a lot of personal, uh, a lot, two big major events in my life changed in March, April, and I had to really shift my priorities and then work more on my health, my mental health especially, and my physical health more than anything. I mean, I couldn't walk for over a month, and also still lead and be a mom and set set the example for my kids and for my community that an injury is not gonna set you back. That it's only going to use this as a learning lesson, use this as a tool. And I want to give that to my community that like, I'm still here, guys. And because I feel like for me, it was just not being seen as much, that I wasn't contributing as much. So this vision is a lot of, I'm going to move my body because now it's raining on me. All right, let's get out of the rain. Okay. Yes, I'm in Bolton Landing. I have taken time for me this week as my whole family is away. It's really raining. I might have to just pause this for a second and go back inside. So, yeah, Bria's at basketball camp at Brant Lake, and Joe took the kids to Mississippi. And during this time, we found out that we were awarded full custody of Jada and Jordan, and it's been a 2-year-long process. So there's a lot going on. All right, so we're going to go back. Injury happens and just had to shift some priorities. And during this time, I'm still, with my mentors and coaches, but we know that what it looks like for our operations and our organizational chart. It goes me. We have Relly is our manager, and we have Ra, who's the head coach, and then we have our full-time coaches, Sean, Jen, and now Guy. Holla. So this is like, wow, everyone is, the gym is running beautifully. It is just doing everything that every leader wants their business to do, is run without them. Still hard for me, not gonna lie. But I am embracing it and accepting it and taking all the feedback and this is when we really started to dig in the past 6 months with Active Life and really grab the horns on the bull and just say, let's go. We are committed. It's time. And when I think of from our previous model and mindset to a high volume gym to now really transitioning into a platform that seeks higher level problems, it all goes back to our core values. And I really hammer on our core values because I tell our team and I tell myself, every decision is made off our core values. We have to be so in tune to our core values and feel it. That it should give you the chills because we want to set ourselves apart from the rest. Why do you come to power? Because A, B, and C. And this is where I want to go with this. So, like I said, going from good to great. I should not have to feel guilty or have my coaches ever feel guilty that they want to go from good to great. They're a good coach. They want to be a great coach. I'm a good leader. I want to be a great leader. Power is a good business. I want it to be a great business. Power is a good option for people to transform their lives. I want it to be a great option. Okay, so when we talk about this evolution of power and the vision of power, I have summed it up in 3 distinct areas, and each is aligned with our core value in each of these 3 distinct areas. I love running my mindset and things and mottos and little things on like the power of 3. So, power, performance, wellness, recovery. When I usually talk about the 3 C's or the 3 I's. A lot of just growth development things that are easy to embrace and really apply to everyday life. So these 3 areas are, our 3 core values are integrity, accountability, and growth. But the 3 distinct areas that I want to talk about of our vision and why our vision has continued to evolve and is even greater and is going to be greater. It's number one, because what we need to do is meet the needs of our clients and our community. We are meeting the needs of them, not so much their wants. So when we talk about the integrity of this, we are committing to the integrity. It's understanding that everyone has unique needs and goals. So we need to understand that. And that's how we're opening up communication and trust between our clients and coaches, making sure that our coaches are really knowledgeable and in the know, and that they can trust them to fulfill their purpose, fulfill their journey while they're at power. So the first one, integrity, and that's how we're meeting the needs through the integrity. The second core value would be accountability. So we're not moving away from it. We're keeping our group model. We're keeping our group model. It's always going to be there. That is going to be the people who are going to go through a process, the consultation process, the one-on-one process. And then that's when they're going to go to the group model. So everyone's in the group model, staying in the group model. That's like that maintain. They know and are confident and are competent in what they're doing in the group model. So accountability, since when new people coming in, the prospects and people coming in, it's not going to be the one-size-fits-all approach. So the consultation process, when we have prospects, when we have people who want to come start at Power, they have to go through Relly or Jen or one of our coaches to have a conversation with them all about them and their needs and their wants and their goals and learning about them. So every single person is going to get attention, dedicated time before they even come in. When they come in, they're going to be with a coach for about an hour. And that's accountability already. Before they even said yes to starting or even paying and investing in their health, they are going to go through a very extensive consultation process. They're going to learn all about the process and the outcome and the whole purpose of it. So say someone comes in with an Achilles rupture injury. And so what's your purpose? My purpose is I want to be able to walk again. Okay, so they're walking. My purpose is I want to be able to run and get back to my athletic ability that I used to. Okay, so here's the process. We're going to go through A, B, C, all this, and then here's your payoff. This is the outcome. This is what you're going to be able to do because you want to play with your kids. You want to be able to get back in the gym. You want to be able to run. You want to go up and down the stairs. So the accountability part of this is huge. And then our third core value, growth. So what we're seeking for our clients, the transformation is going to be more holistic. And I can tell you right now, if you're listening and you are a current member, you know that you've changed more than just physically in the gym. Some people might have just even changed their mental and emotional capacity. So we want our clients coming in to trust the process, and more importantly, themselves. They need to trust themselves before they can really commit to being a member at Power or being a client at Power. So, our mission, yes, is to give power to the people, but we want to empower every single member and client to reach their full potential, whether they be a one-on-one client or they're in the group class. And this is obviously not just when we say, reach their full potential, that's not just in the gym, that's also outside the gym. All right, so the second aspect that I just got a phone call. All right, the second aspect we're talking about is meeting the needs of the professionals, of my staff, elevating my staff into professionals. So with that, when we talk about the integrity of that, this is what has been misunderstood is the fitness industry. And trainers and coaches and their certifications and the next best trainer, that what we joke about when you see on Instagram, or the online trainers. What you see a lot is trainers coming in and out all the time. We had that model. I had 10 independent contractors. And could you imagine what it was like to put 10, 10 girls and 10 different schedules and putting all together? It's probably like it is in the restaurant business. I remember that too. But what that model, and having 10 different people who are all different times, you are not developing the relationship that it should be. It should be not cultivating that culture, the in and out culture. So the integrity of elevating the professionals is like, what we want to do is change that perception. What I intend to do with my coaches is show everyone that they are they're not part-time employees, and they are professionals. They are not just coaches. They are professionals. They are doing so much more. And it's my job to have them be recognized as true professionals, and hold them to the high standards, and give them that curriculum. So what we're here to do, Power, that is to show everyone, show the world that there is a career of dedication and an expertise in this field. And that's when the fitness industry is still somewhat new. If you look back to the history of fitness, it really wasn't like it did, like the Jane Fonda days, and CrossFit didn't start until 2008. So this is why during the pandemic, it was very confusing if we were considered in the health field, or if we were considered in recreation, hospitality. So this is what's interesting about this industry, and it needs to be educated more and talked about more. So when we're talking about elevating professionals, still for accountability, my coaches, my team is the backbone of Power Success. They are the ones who are running the business. They really are. We're devoted to equipping them with the tools they need to deliver these results for our clients. This is accountability right here. Like, I have to give them more and more opportunities for growth so they can give it to their clients. And that right there is accountability. So the commitment to their clients is mirrored by the commitment to their growth. And that's we go into growth. So we're not just a gym. We aren't, guys. And we, you see a lot of gyms who say that, but most gyms aren't just a gym. And I'm giving respect to all their gyms and a lot when I know that do more. So we're a platform for fulfillment and financial independence. Like, that is the growth what I am looking for in my team. I want them to have that, like I was talking about before, that time freedom, that financial freedom. I want to give them the opportunity to make more money, and not just the known $15 to $30 an hour, salary. Or they do so much more, and to be able to create those opportunities with the help and expertise from Active Life, it has been such a win. So those are the three elements in the vision for where we're going, and on the professional side, and elevating them. And lastly is about the business. It's strengthening the business and making it a lasting impact, and having Power be that representation for the fitness industry. So the integrity for me, for running and leading this business, it goes on. The dedication goes beyond physical fitness. It goes beyond that. Like, we are committed to making such a meaningful difference in the lives of our community, our clients, and the industry. Like, we need more respect in this industry with what we are capable of. Like, this is why with Active Life, their mission is to bridge the gap between health and fitness, and we're with it. Our mission is to bring power to the people, but we are with their vision. Like, they are very clear on where they're going, and it was very hard for me to be like, oh, my vision's their vision. No, my vision is their vision. We are adapting a lot of their mindset and their education and their knowledge and their expertise, everything, their community, like to be in a community of like-minded individuals in the fitness industry. And it's you need that support. We need that support. because there's so many ups and downs to running this business. And the next one is accountability. So for the gym, so power, we exist to support our clients and community. That's why we exist. We are here to support you guys. So our commitment drives us to provide the best experience, the programs, and all the resources, even the amenities. Like that, yeah, that means a lot to people. People see that. But what it comes down to is how we're giving that out to you, and we're committing to giving that to you and to serving you. And that's where we're here just to achieve your goals. And those goals can be from a range from so many different things. It's not just your physical goals. And lastly, growth. So growth as a business it's the evolution. It is the heart of power. Growth is the heart. For me, like, this is where I get all filled up and my cup is filled up and I just want to pour, pour, pour. So our commitment to our vision and mission is what propels us to continually improve. I wrote that down. Propels us to continually improve. So we're not just setting the bar, we're raising it. And that's what I said when we're in the team meeting is like, guys, I want to go from good to great. We're right here. We're just going through the motions. We got to level the F up, right? So that growth mindset is just what fuels the journey forward. And my team knows how much I trust in them and trust in their process and how they run everything. And I just want them to trust me. And the more I can just continue to be clear and communicate the vision of power, they can be able to communicate that to you. So, 36 minutes. Oh my gosh. All right. So that sums it up. Between those three elements, the needs for you guys, the clients, the community, the needs for our professionals, our team, and then the needs for the business. So those three elements, and then breaking it down by every decision we make with those core values, the integrity, the accountability, and the growth, that is what is going to drive and evolve power to what it needs to be great and to be great for you. So I hope you enjoyed the first episode back. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please never hesitate to reach out to me. I am so excited for what's to come, for what's for you. And please give us a review. On to the next one. Power to the people.